And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciple asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither has this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is day. The night comes when no man can work. As long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made a clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go, wash in a pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sand. He went his way therefore and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors therefore, and they which before had seen him that he was blind, said, Is it not this that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How are thine eyes opened? He answered and said, A man that called Jesus made a clay, anointed my eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and received sight. Then say they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisee him that aforetime was blind. And it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisee also asked him, how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put a clay upon my eyes, and I washed, and now I see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can the man that is a sinner do such a miracles? And there was a division among them. They said unto the blind man again, What says you of him that he has opened your eyes? He said, He is a prophet. But the Jew did not believe concerning him that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents of him that had received his sight. And they asked them, saying, Is it your son, who is you say to be was born blind? How does he now see? His parents answered them and said, We know that it is our son, and we know that he was born blind, but by what means he now sees we know not, or who has opened his eyes we know not. He is of age, ask him, he shall speak for himself. These words spake his parents because they feared the Jew, for the Jew had already agreed that if any man did confess that he was the Christ, he should be put out of synagogues. Therefore said his parents, He is of age, ask him. Then again they called the man that was blind, and said unto him, Give God the glory and praise. We know that this man is a sinner. And he answered and said, Whether he be a sinner or not, I know not. And one thing I know, that whereas I was blind, and now I see. Then said they to him again, What did he do to you? How does he open your eyes? He answered them, I have told you already, and you did not hear. Why would you want to hear it again? Are you also would like to be his disciples? Then they reviled him and said, You are his disciple, but we are Moses' disciples. We know that God spoke to Moses. As for this fellow, we don't even know where he come from. The man answered and said unto them, Wow, marvelous things that you know not where he come from, and yet he has opened my eyes. Now we know that God hears not sinner, but if any man be a worshipper of God, and does his will, him he hears. Since the world began, was it not heard that any man opened the eyes of one that was born blind? If this man were not of God, he could do nothing. They answered and said unto him, You was altogether born in sin, and now you teachest us. And they cast him out. Jesus heard that they had cast him out, and when he had found him, he said unto him, Does you believe on the Son of God? He answered and said, Who is he, Lord, that I may believe in him? And Jesus said unto him, You have both seen him, and it is he that speaketh with you now. And he said, Lord, I believe. And he worshipped him. And Jesus said, For a judgment I came into this world, that they which see not might see, and that they which see might be made blind. And some of the Pharisees which were with him heard this voice, and said unto him, Are we blind also? Jesus said unto them, If you were blind, you would have no sin. But now, if you say, We see, therefore your sin remains. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that enters not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he that enters in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter opens, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calls his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. And when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of the stranger. The parable spake Jesus unto them, but they understood not what things they were, which he spoke unto them. Then said Jesus unto them again, Verily, verily I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and are robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. I came that they may have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I am a good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. But he that is a hireling, and not care about the sheep, whose own sheep are not, sees the wolves coming, and leaveth the sheep, and flees. And the wolf catch them, and scatter the sheep. The hireling flees because he is only a hireling, and he cares not about the sheep. I am the good shepherd, and I know my sheep, and I am known of mine. As the Father knows me, even so I, the Father, and I lie down my life for the sheep. And the other sheep I have, which are not in this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore does my Father love me, because I lie down my life, that I may take it back again. No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down of myself. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it again. This commandment I have received of my Father. There was a division therefore again among the Jews for this saying, and many of them said, He has a devil, he is mad. Why are you hearing him? Others said, These are not the words of him that has a devil. Can the devil open the eyes of the blind? And it was at Jerusalem at feast of dedication, and it was winter. And Jesus walked in the temple in the Solomon porch. Then came the Jews round about him, and said unto him, How long does you make us in doubt? If you be the Christ, tell us plainly. Jesus answered, I told you, but you believe not. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But you believe not, because you are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep heareth my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them to me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. Then the Jews took up the stones again to stone him. Jesus answered them, Many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which of those works do you want to stone me? The Jews answered him, saying, for a good works we stone thee not, but for a blasphemy, and because you, being a man, make us yourself God. Jesus answered them, Is it not written in your law, I said you are gods? If he called them gods, to whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken, say you of him who the Father has sanctified and sent into the world, you blasphemous, because I said I am a son of God? If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though you don't believe, believe at least the works, that you may know and believe that the Father is in me and I am in him. Therefore they sought again to take him, but he escaped out of their hand, and went away again beyond the Jordan into the place where John first baptized, and there he abode. And many resorted unto him and said, John did no miracles, but all things that John spake of this man were true. And many believed on him there. Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus, of Bethany, the town where Mary and her sister Martha. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment, and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you lovest is sick. When Jesus heard it, he said, This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified by it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. When he had heard therefore that he was sick, he abode 2 days still in the same place where he was. Then afterward he said to his disciples, Let us go to Judea again. His disciples said to him, Master, the Jews lately sought to stone you, and you going there again? Jesus answered, Are there not 12 hours in a day? If any man walk in a day, he stumbles not, because he sees the light of this world. But if a man walk in a night, he stumbles, because there is no light in him. These things said he, and after that he said unto them, Our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of a sleep. Then said his disciple, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. Howbeit, Jesus spake of his death. But they thought that he had spoken of taking the rest and sleep. Then Jesus said to them plainly, Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sake that I was not there, to the intent you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. Then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciple, Let us also go, that we may die with him. Then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in a grave for 4 days already. Now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. And many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary, and comforted them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat still in the house. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if you have been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Martha said unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believes in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said unto him, Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. And when she had so said, she went her way and called Mary, her sister, secretly, saying, The Master come and called for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. Now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. The Jews then which were with her in the house and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, they followed her, saying, She goes unto the grave to weep there. Then when Mary was come where Jesus was, and saw him, she fell down at her feet, saying unto him, Lord, if you have been here, my brother hath not died. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in his spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have you laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold, how he loved him. And some of that said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Jesus therefore, again groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was cave, and a stone lay upon it. Jesus said, Take you away the stone. Martha, sister of him that was dead, says to him, Lord, by this time he stinks, for he has been dead for 4 days. Jesus said unto her, Said I not unto you that if you believe, you shall see the glory of God? Then they took away the stone from the place where dead was, and Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you hast heard me, and I knew that you always heareth me. But because of the people which stand by, I said, that they may believe that you hast sent me. And when he thus spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth! And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with the grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus said unto them, Loose him, and let him go. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Jesus did believe in him. But some of them went their way to the Pharisees, and told them what things Jesus had done. Then gathered the chief priest and the Pharisee of council, and said, What do we? For this man does many miracles. If we let him go in this way, all men will believe in him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and our nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, You know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, that the whole nation perish. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for the nation, and not for that nation only, but also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth they took counsel together for to put him to death. Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto the country near the wilderness, unto the city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. Then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves, as they stood in the temple, What think you, that he will not come in the feast? Now both the chief priests and the Pharisees have given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should show it, that they might take him. Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of sprinkling, very costly, and anointed his feet, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of ointment. Then says one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him, Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief, and had the bag, and bare what was put therein. Then Jesus said, Leave her alone. Against the day of my burial has she kept this. For the poor you will always have with you, but me you will not always have. Much people of the Jew therefore knew that he was there, and they came not for Jesus' sake only, but also that they may see Lazarus, whom he raised from the dead. But the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus also to death, because that by reason of him many of the Jews went away and believed on Jesus. On the next day, much people that were come at the feast, when they heard that Jesus was coming to Jerusalem, they took branches of palm tree and went forth to meet him and cried, Hosanna! Blessed is the King of Israel! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! And Jesus, when he found a young donkey, sat on it, and it is written, Fear not, daughter of Zion, behold, your king cometh, sitting on a donkey. These things understood not his disciple at the first, but when Jesus was glorified, then remembered they that these things were written of him, and that they had done these things unto him. The people therefore that was with him, when he called the Lazarus out of his grave, and raised him from the dead, bear record. For this cause the people also met him, for that they heard that he has done this miracle. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, Perceive you how you prevail nothing? Behold, the whole world is following him. And there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship at the feast. The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida, of Galilee, and desired him, saying, Sir, we would like to see Jesus. Philip come and tell Andrew, and again Andrew and Philip tell Jesus. And Jesus answered them, saying, The hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it die, it brings forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it. He that hateth his life and this world shall keep it into life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul is troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I into this hour. Father, glorify your name. Then came there a voice from heaven, saying, I have both glorified it, and will glorify it again. The people therefore, what stood there and heard it, say that it thundered. Others said, an angel spake to him. Jesus answered and said, This voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men unto me. This he said, signifying what death he should die. The people answered him, We have heard out of the law that Christ abides forever. How then you say the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is the Son of Man? Then Jesus said unto them, Yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For he that walketh in the darkness knoweth not where he goes. While you have a light, believe in the light, that you may be the children of the light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and did hide himself from them. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they still didn't believe in him. That the saying of Isaiah the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spoke, Lord, who has believed our report, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah also say, He has blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, that I should heal them. This thing says Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed in him, but because of the Pharisee they did not confess him, lest they shall be put out of the synagogue. For they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried out and said, He that believes on me, believes not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that sees me, sees him that sent me. I am come as a light into the world, that whosoever believes on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words and believe not, I do not judge him, for I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejected me receives not my words, has one that judges him. The word that I have spoken, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say, and what should I speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak. Now, before the feast of Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour was come and he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, and the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things unto his hand, and that he was come from God and going to God, he rises from supper, laid aside his garment, took a towel, and girded himself. After that, he pours water into the basin, and began to wash the disciples' feet, and to wipe them with the towel wherewith he was girded. Then cometh to the Simon Peter. The Peter said unto him, Lord, do you wash my feet? Jesus answered and said to him, What I do you now not know, but there later you will know. Peter said unto him, You shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered to him, If I will not wash you, you has not part with me. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus said unto him, He that is washed need not, except to wash his feet, but is clean everywhere. And you are clean, but not all of you are clean. For he knew who should betray him, therefore he said, Not all of you are clean. So after he had washed their feet, and had taken his garments, and was set down again, he said unto them, Know you what I have done to you? You call me Master and Lord, and you shall say well, for so am I. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, how happy you will be if you do it. I speak not of you all, I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled. He that eateth my bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you before it come, that when it come to pass you may believe that I am he. Verily, verily I say unto you, he that receiveth whosoever I send, receiveth me, and he that receiveth me, receiveth him that sent me. When Jesus has thus said, he was troubled in the spirit, and testified and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked at one another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. Simon Peter, therefore, coming to him, he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on Jesus' breast said unto him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, He it is of whom I shall give a soap when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the soap, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the soap, Satan entered unto him. Then said Jesus unto him, What you doing, do quickly. Now no man at the table knew for what intent he spake unto him. For some of them thought, because Judah had a bag, that Jesus said to him, Go buy those things which we need against the feast. And others thought that maybe he said that he should give something to the poor. He that having received the soap went immediately out, and it was night. Therefore, when he was gone out, Jesus said, Now is the Son of Man glorified, and God is glorified in him. If God be glorified in him, God shall also glorify him in himself, and shall straightway glorify him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You shall seek me, and as I said unto the Jews, where I go you cannot come. So now I said to you, a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciple, if you have love for one another. Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus answered, Where I go you cannot follow me now, but you shall follow me later. Peter said unto him, Lord, why can I follow you now? I will lay down my life for your sake. Jesus answered to him, Will you lie down your life for my sake? Verily, verily, I say unto you, the cock shall not crow till you has denied me thrice. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, you may be also. And where I go you know, and the way you know. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not where you are going. How can we know the way? Jesus said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also. And from now on, you know him and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it's sufficient for us. Jesus said unto him, Have I been so long with you, yet you don't know me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest you then, Show us the Father? Believest you not that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me? The word that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwell in me, he does the work. Believe me that I am in the Father, and Father is in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily I say unto you, he that believes on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and even greater work than this shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another Comforter, that he may abide with you forever, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because he sees him not, neither knows him. But you know him, for he dwells with you, and he shall be in you. I will not leave you comfortless, I will come to you. Yet a little while, and the world sees me no more. But you will see me. Because I live, you shall live also. At that day you shall know that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. He that has my commandments and keepeth them, he is it that loves me. And he that loves me shall be loved by my Father, and I will love him, and we will manifest myself to him. Judas said unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that you will manifest thyself to us and not to the world? Jesus answered and said unto him, If a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make abode with him. He that loveth me not, keepeth not my saying. And the word which you heard, it's not mine, but the Father which sent me. This thing have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things, and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you, not as the world giveth I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. You have heard how I said unto you, I go away, and come again unto you. If you love me, you will rejoice because I said, I go unto the Father. For my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it comes to pass you may believe. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world come, and he has nothing in me. But the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so I do. Arise, let us go from here.